All right, so the endocannabinoid system. This is a big topic because a lot of people don't know what it is. So maybe you can explain, what is the endocannabinoid system and why does it matter?
Okay. Most simplistically, the endocannabinoid system is a series of receptors in our bodies which the cannabis plant matches into. So we produce our own endocannabinoids, and then there's also the cannabinoids in the cannabis plant that lock in with our receptors. So they duplicate the same effects of what we produce ourselves. And it's also important to know that our understanding of the endocannabinoid system is pretty recent. We've only been aware of it for a couple of decades, and if you can imagine that we just discovered something like the vascular system a couple decades ago. I mean, we've known about these other body systems, but this is a whole new system in our bodies that we are just starting to learn about.
And from what I've understood, we have these receptors in the system throughout our entire body. We have CB1 and CB2 receptors. But from what I've read, a lot of disease seems to be linked to the deficiency or overabundance of endocannabinoids within our system. So how does the cannabis plant interact with our receptors, and why does that balance matter?
Yeah, so there is CB1 and CB2. Those are like the receptors that have been identified, and they occur in different parts of the body, and different parts of the cannabis plant interact with the different receptors. So what we know with CB1 is that THC is what is interacting with CB1, and that CBD is interacting with CB2, and that they also can bring about those different effects and bringing them about in different parts of the body.
So if I'm taking cannabinoids from cannabis, basically what's happening is that they are interacting with my own system and helping to balance me internally. Is that what's going on?
That's what the hope is. I would still say that I would caution that we're still learning. And this is a really big deal to have this whole new system that's regulating major parts of our body that we weren't really that aware of until quite recently. So there still needs to be a lot of research that happens, and that is what is going to be so important about rescheduling and legalization, so that people can start researching this plant more thoroughly in this country and help build to the body of research that's been happening mostly outside this country, because we can't research it here.
It does sound unbelievable that there's a whole system within our body that people aren't regularly educated about, and yet here it is, and this is one of the reasons why legalization is happening with cannabis.
Exactly. We need to learn about this. We have this amazing medicinal plant that interacts with our body, produces the same chemicals that our body produces. It's the only plant that does this, and yet we are barely there in understanding the full breadth of what this can do.
Well, maybe we'll get there one day.
Soon, I hope.
Okay, thank you.